Welcome to Porch Play Chat, sponsored by the American Association for the Child's Right to Play, or more affectionately called IPA USA. IPA USA is the USA affiliate of the International Play Association, and as part of our efforts to promote play, we've introduced Porch Play Chats, which are conversations with people just as passionate about play as we are. I'm Deb Lawrence, and I'm president of IPA USA. And with me on the porch is Steve Caudle. Steve is the play manager at Sacramento Adventure Playground. And I'm so excited because he's going to share pictures with us. He's an athlete and a do-it-yourself contractor, and Steve has many years of experience in youth development and after-school programs with park and recreation districts and school districts. He's developed this playground to be an engaging place for children and their families, and after 4 years at the helm, has established it as a sustainable operation and a valuable asset to the community. And you can find the Adventure Playground at sacadventureplay.org. So SAC, did I say that right?
Yeah, sacadventureplay.org.
Yeah,
SAC for Sacramento, SAC.
There you go. SAC for Sacramento, adventureplay.org. Okay, awesome. All right, Steve, I'm so excited because he's going to talk to us about the educational benefits of play, particularly problem solving, which, those 21st century learning skills, pretty important. Oh, well, here we go.
All right, is it on?
It is.
I always got to make sure because I've done this before and I've gone through the whole thing and said, oh, it wasn't on.
Oh no.
So
Yeah,
I have
on.
the coolest title in the world. I am a play manager. I just absolutely love that title. Sacramento Adventure Playground was established in 2016, so we're 8.5 years into this, and we are powered by Fairy Tale Town. Fairy Tale Town is a Sacramento icon, a theme park, and they've been in existence since 1959. So they've been around a while. We are based upon, the traditional adventure playgrounds born out of Europe. We follow Lady Marjorie Allen. I love her two sayings, better a broken arm than a broken spirit. And her quote in visiting the U.S. playgrounds in the 90s, that our playgrounds were administrators' heaven and a child's hell because they were so boring. So what do we do at the Adventure Playground? We do fort building. We give the kids real tools to build real forts. And you could see, some of the stuff they have constructed here. And of course, an adventure playground wouldn't be an adventure playground unless you had mud. And so we have a little moat here, and the kids find mud. We've had a couple of really, really big rainstorms the last couple of months, and my gosh, we are just one mud pit right now. So there's lots of mud out there for the kids. And, we did the summer, we're going to do some water play. And the interesting about the area that we're in, it's an area where honestly the kids don't have access to pools. They're not the type of people that are going to go out the lake. So these kids don't know how to swim. So I love that great hub there because a lot of these kids in the neighborhood learn how to swim, or at least go underwater and hold your breath right here at the Adventure Playground.
Okay, Steve, I want the slides aren't moving. So we're still on the first slide. So keep sliding down.
Let me see, it's moving on my screen. So why is it not moving on yours?
I don't know. Do slideshow okay, now we're at arts and crafts. And so then if you want to go from the beginning.
Okay, it should have been working. It's working. Is it working now?
Let's see. So I see the first slide and I see the second slide in the queue. So
it's not going to the screen?
No, it's still the first slide and all of your slides are over here. There you go. Now we're at
so let me see. It's not sharing when I expand my screen.
Huh? Weird.
That is weird.
Do you want me to go back and control it? I don't know if I can. I'm trying to move the slides as you go. Can you, and when
if we need to, I can go in this format right here. I mean, okay. It's not a big picture format, but I could do that.
Yeah, let's try that because then they'll be able to see things because we're still, there we go.
Yeah,
That's
so I don't know why when it, goes full screen, it's not doing it.
weird.
Let me see, we'll try this. Well, anyway, okay, so this is the one from how adventure playgrounds were started and Lady Margie Allen's famous quotes and the fort play. We give the kids real tools to build real forts, so they're able to go ahead and construct things as they see fit. Sometimes I'll go out there and I'll build the bones of it to make sure it's secure and stuff like that. It's not going to topple upon the kids. We'll go out to secure, and sometimes we have to remove things, but for the most part, it's actually really safe. And as I mentioned, the mud
Oh,
play.
I love
Mud
it.
play is huge. We have a moat out there, and kids are constant. We tell the kids, if you want to, you can swim in the mud. You can dig until your heart's content, and they do. We have
And is
mud
that
every
like
place.
is that yellow thing like a slide into the
Yeah,
mud?
it's a slide. So somebody just donated a slide for us. And when we dug out the moat, we made a little hill there, and we said, well, let the kids slide down it. And they're not
Mhm.
sliding down it so much as they're creating games within it,
Uh,
having things slide down it, or just all kinds of innovative things they can do to utilize the slide other than actually sliding down it. And that's what an
wow,
adventure playground is.
that's it. That
Yeah.
is wonderful. I love that.
So here's the water play. And this is what I was talking about. The tub right here is, again, we're in the neighborhood where kids don't have access to water. They do not know how to swim. So you can see the girls they're getting ready to hold their breath and go underwater. And that's the key to learning how to swim, is to be able to hold your breath underwater. And that's one of the fun things that you can do here.
Oh my goodness, that is truly amazing. And I love the water slide
Isn't that a cool
overview.
picture?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Oh, and
fun was that?
that's probably one of the first ones because it's not muddy. A few more
Uh-huh.
tries and that thing would have been filled with mud. And then we have an arts and craft, which Kathy, our former CEO, she said that we're kind of unique in that we have an arts and craft station, and to be able to make sure the supplies just don't disappear on us, we created a money system with the store. I can have a whole segment on how successful that system has been. It's been
Mm,
remarkable. I've done it, and I've seen it a lot of other places. It doesn't work like it works here. It's amazing how
mm.
successful it is. It works here. Oh,
We may have to talk more about that. So
oh
we'll,
yeah,
yes,
definitely.
yes, because I think that might help people understand how they're able to manage um all those materials. And I love that, if I'm not an outside kid, I can come inside, right?
Yeah.
So,
That definitely. Yeah. And almost all the new kids who come here, they're going to spend almost all their time earning money. They're so excited to be able to earn the money. From petting the critters, you get paid for petting the critters, making a new friend, sawing a board, coming out of the maze, all different ways you can make money. And they're just so excited to do it. And then you'll be able to purchase something to make a craft.
wow, that is awesome.
Yeah. And we offer various challenges here at the playground. We have a little mini zip line. The kids can climb up the tree. This is, a big risk. We have a bell 40 feet up the tree, and then the kids can climb up and ring that bell. And you talk about a social development when a child is able to go up there and ring that bell. It's remarkable. I'm a big obstacle person, and we made a little spider wall here, and you can see a girl going across that. And of course, we wouldn't be any place unless we just did fun stuff. So we have our motorcycle gang here. They're just going having all kinds of fun. And the whole purpose of us is not for the kids to do what we put out there for them to do, but for them to self-organize and do what they want to do. That's the big thing we want to do. And then we may be unique, and I would love to hear from other people on this, is that we have critters. We have all kinds of critters. You can see Shelly here. Shelly is a whole lot bigger now. She weighs 80 pounds. She is a load, but she is our mascot. The kids absolutely love her. Right here, This is where the polywogs are, and the kids absolutely love them. And the polywogs are starting to come in. That is probably when they come in the number one thing, because it's amazing. The kids want to save the polywogs by putting them inside. And once they become frogs, they save the frogs by putting them outside. And as weird as that sound, it actually works. You go out here at night and it's deafening how many frogs there are out there.
Oh
And you
my,
wouldn't be an adventure play unless you have cockroaches, right? So
right. Oh yeah.
we have
Okay.
cockroaches. We have chinchillas, rats, a skink, fish, and whatever else I can't think of right now. Um, we are, about risky play. And then here's another one we can have a whole segment on, what incorporates risky play. I could talk for an hour about that doll and the impact, how people feel about that and stuff like that. And,
Mhm.
we do fire. We openly encourage, hey, let's let the kids play with matches, and we do. And there's so many successes behind that that we see by allowing that to happen. One of the things actually we're going to go into here a little bit, there's a rocket company that wants scientists who played as children, and then the play itself promotes reading and writing.
Mhm.
One of the things we do is a homeschool enrichment program. Some of the classes we did, right, are you can see here, fire safety, electrolysis, and mud wars. I mean, you can't beat mud wars. They got to make their shields, and then they had throwing muddy socks at each other. So that's kind of fun. Let me see, where am I? Right here. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have college interns. Now, these
Oh,
college
cool.
interns have to do a 40-hour project, and we tell them they have to do a project with the kids, not for the kids.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of big. There's other pictures there, but the slideshow is not working right now. Sorry about that. And here is the funding. One of the questions we get asked all the time is, how do we fund ourselves? Again, my slideshow is not working the greatest right now.
Oh,
One is
there,
our
looky there.
homes. Yes, you have a question? Oh,
No, no, I was just saying, I didn't know there was a slide under a slide, so that was
yeah,
exciting.
yeah. It's really cool. It floats in and out of there. So I don't know why it won't work when I go big picture. But anyway, we do a homeschool program, and it is a fee-based program. Our main program is the free out of school play program, and it doesn't cost. But we need money. We all like to get paid. We all like to eat. We do homeschool enrichment classes, and the state pays for this program through vouchers.
Mhm.
And of course, like everybody else, we get grants and stuff like that. Um, and summer camps are huge, absolutely huge for us. This is where by far we get our most revenue. And we do have to concentrate law on that because that's where our money's coming from. And our big fundraiser is the Dirty Kids Obstacle Race. And you can see one of the obstacles is them running through the mud.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
and of course, our main sponsor is Fairy Tale Town. Unfortunately, we have not broken quite even yet. We've been kind of close, but Fairy Tale Town sees the success. We could see how the children are able to achieve here, and people are just their eyes wide open, and it's just remarkable what happens here. And so Fairy Tale Town is committed to making this program succeed.
My goodness. And so I know we've probably got a few more slides, but I want us to stop for 1 second, and I want you to say the hours you're open, the
Yeah.
ages you serve, and where the children come from in the
So
neighborhood.
So we are open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2:15 to 6:30, and Saturdays 11:4. And that's our free out of school play program. It doesn't cost any money. We do want the parents to sign a waiver, and of course we want emergency forms and stuff like that. We're big on kicking parents out. Parents are not allowed into the main play area except for quick observations. We do have a 5 and under area, which kind of straddles our main play area, and that also serves as a parent area too. But for the most part, the parents, they might stay the first time, but then they become so comfortable with us and they see the benefits of the program. The parents want to go ahead and have their kids here without them. Like most adventure playgrounds, we are a neighborhood facility.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we are in a neighborhood that doesn't have a lot of kids.
Uh-huh.
Especially since we first started, the kids are transitioning out and out. We're in an old school, and this school closed down for a reason because there's no kids in the neighborhood. So we have to do programming to get people aware of us. It's kind of tough to convince a lot of adults to drive their kids here for play. Now, we
Mhm.
do have many dedicated parents that will do it, but we also found that we do things like the homeschool program. It's a feeder program. Those kids, as soon as the program is over at 2 o'clock, they'll stay into the free public play system. Then other kids will want to be around them. We'll do Girl Scout workshops. So the girls will come here and earn a badge, and then they'll stay and play. So we have all kind of innovative ways to get kids here. And our summer camp is only from 9 to 12 p.m. But we have this place is swamped from 7:45 to 6:30 at night. Um, but again, our main emphasis is that free out of school play program, where we're not charging people. We just want the kids to come here and play.
Oh, that is just amazing. So if you were to say on a typical Wednesday or Thursday or Saturday, how many children are on that in the adventure playground?
So typically you can probably see anywhere from 20 to 75 kids here. And it's kind of also, what are we doing? One of the weird things about what happens here is sometimes the free doesn't get people in. If
Mm-hmm.
you charge $5, then they come. And,
Wow.
and
Isn't that crazy?
yeah, it really is. So, and but the people who regularly come here, then they understand what we do, and they just want to keep bringing their kids back and back. Now,
Mhm.
conversely, one of the sad things about an adventure playground is the kids who come here, they get absolutely so excited about what they can do here. They can use real tools, they can climb the tree, they can play in the mud, and that's so exciting. And then after a couple of weeks, it's kind of like, oh, I've done that. And a lot of times those kids just get up and disappear.
Mhm.
And that's unfortunate. But those kids who stay, maybe they're a neighborhood kid, or maybe the parent needs them to stay, whatever the reason is they're staying, they learn how to overcome their boredom. And that's when we see these kids shine. They're not climbing the tree. They're not doing the zip line. They're self-organizing and making up their own games. And that's when these kids are really start to shine. And that's what we love seeing here.
Yeah, they don't need to be entertained then. They're entertaining themselves, which
Correct.
wouldn't every parent want that, right? Instead of, oh, my kids always tell me they're bored. And I'm like, then boredom is good. They need to
Very
figure
much.
out how to fill their time. They don't need you to fill their time. So
Yeah.
I think,
I was watching Stephen Colbert here a month or so ago,
mhm,
and he was interviewing Elton John. Elton John
mhm.
had a fantastic comment. He said the reason for his success was because he would get bored, and to overcome it, he would write songs. And he said that's the problem today. You have social media that's so handy for people and kids that they don't know how to overcome boredom. And so they're not excelling anymore. They're not going out writing songs or writing, computer programs or whatever.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And so the adventure playground, I really like that you're doing the homeschool enrichment. And I imagine families are so thrilled. So do you have a specific, like this week's, I don't know how many days you do homeschool enrichment. So how many days do you do homeschool enrichment? In the
So
morning,
we
typically?
have 5 different sessions of homeschools. There's 6 weeks. The first and the sixth week is always a play day only. So Thursday from 12 to 2, they only play. And then the middle 4 weeks, we have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 2. And we'll do 2 activities with them, 2 enrichments or enrichment and physical play. And of course, we have to do free play.
Of course.
So I mean, see, what's on the agenda for today? Today is February. They're doing
28.
Art Bot and Twister today. So
Uh,
they're going to make a art robot. It's one of the things that kind of shakes and it makes a design. It's really cool. So the kids will be doing that. Now, almost all those kids stay into the free public play program. And today is also Pizza Friday.
oh, Of
So,
course.
they'll be able to have pizza, and it even gets better during the winter. At dusk, we do a campfire, and they're able to roast a marshmallow and have s'mores. So
Oh my
tonight we'll
goodness.
be doing a fire.
Isn't that wonderful? Because how many children may never experience going camping and being able to do a s'more, authentically instead of, in the oven or
Yeah.
something. So, oh my
And,
goodness.
and combining, education and the risk portion of it,
Mm-hmm.
we're letting kids strike matches, we're letting them get near the fire and stuff like that. And they're learning. Most house fires are caused by children because they strike a match and then they panic
Then
and
they
then they
drop it.
disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And then the house burns down. So
Mm-hmm.
let the child experience that and they'll get it out of their system.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll learn to appreciate fire. We had one girl here who I am convinced we saved their house from burning down. My
Oh,
gosh, she was a pyro. But after 2 weeks of me exploding, she finally calmed down and she was okay around fire. But here she was just obsessed with it and wanted to light everything on fire. She got it out of her system.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it was something new. It had power. She could do it herself. Yeah. So sometimes that is what they need. They have this internal drive to get something done. That every child does that with development. And sometimes they drive us crazy because we're like, why do you keep turning the water on when I keep asking you to turn it off? It's an internal driven developmental push that this is what you're ready for. This is what you need to practice, practice, practice. And if we don't give them those opportunities, then we're almost stunting that development, right?
Very
And
much.
so it just, and then they're not willing to be curious or explore anymore. So we really have to be careful how we approach that. So
Yeah.
Steve, so we have the enrichment program, the homeschool enrichment program, we have the free adventure playground, you have the summer
The
camps.
summer camps, yes. And within our summer camps, fort building is big. Fort building is so big that we had to have 3 fort building camps. And this year we added a building camp where they're going to build a chair. So we're seeing, a lot of people realize the trade industry is having a hard time recruiting people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, I remember I went to this conference once and people got up and talked and say, hey, you got to get kids hammers in kids' hands at high school. And I got up there and said, that's too late. My
Yeah,
gosh,
too late.
you 4-year old, give them a hammer at 4 years old, here, of course, we're mostly doing 6 through 15, but they're able to, have the hammer in the hand. And what I always like to say, we had this mom come in and she brought her dad who had some, or her husband, and who had some experience and wanted to make sure that we were going to give the proper instructions for hammering.
Mm,
And I said, well, we really don't do that at Adventure Playground. We want the children to learn. And I started going on. She goes, stop. My kid's eyes just lit up when you said that. And, sure enough, the kids went out there and they're hammering like this, you know.
mhm,
But after a while, they started to hammer like that. And anybody, it's so hard to teach a kid to hammer. Just give it to them or a saw. Let them experiment.
mhm.
Fortunately, hammers are kind of tough to beat up. Saws maybe, they do get beat up a little bit, but hey, they don't cost that much.
Right.
That's how they're going to learn. Learn through failure.
They do. And that builds their resilience that, okay, it didn't work that time, but I can try again, right? If I'm given the tools and the opportunity.
Yeah.
So, Steve, as we close out, is there one particular thing that you feel like you want to make sure that we've touched on that we haven't yet?
Well, actually, do we have like a couple minutes?
We do. We
Okay.
have like 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. So what I want, one of the things you're always hearing, hey, the kids are failing at school, so we give them more homework and stuff like
Oh,
that. And it's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. And one of the things we saw here at the Adventure Playground is we had one of our summer camps. Because of COVID, we divided them up into 2 separate groups. One was an older group that was, they were endowed, they were able to, do all the kind of things that money could buy. The younger group are regulars who attended here who, they didn't have the ability to do much. We did an electronics thing with them, the older group did very well because they had it before. But then we
Mhm.
switched to catapults. They were tabletop catapults about 2 foot tall. They had to tack the joints together with rubber band. Not a single member of the middle school older kids were able to manipulate a rubber band.
Wow.
And then they had to support the joints with tape. Every single
Mhm.
kid cut the tape into 1 inch things and just put it on there. Not one of them made a workable catapults. The younger kids came in. We never taught them how to do this. They made catapults like that instantly. We never, hey, this is how you do a rubber band. This is how you tape. They just figured it out. Then we
Yeah.
went to orienteering. We have this giant compass we put out. You point it north, walk 50 feet. You find the correct envelope with a letter in it. The older group could not do it. They never done it before. They could not do it. They just bickered amongst each other. The younger
Uh-oh.
group, again, we never showed them how to do this. They went in there and did it instantly, okay? Because they learned how to cooperate here at the Adventure Playground. And,
Mhm.
if you look on, Indeed or any other of those job app places, what are they looking for? They're looking for people who can problem solve and for people who can work together as a team. And
Mhm.
that's what play is. You know,
Yes.
I always like to point out, that Stuart Brown wrote about how Jet Propulsion Laboratory we realized the workforce was getting older, and they went
Mhm.
out and found the best people for the best colleges and brought them in. But after a while, they realized there was a problem. The workforce, the newer workforce, is brilliant in mind. They were kind of struggling, specifically in problem solving. And in all
Mhm.
their research, what they found was that the older workforce played as children,
Mhm.
building, radios or what have you. And if you ever seen the movie October Sky, it's about America's most famous rocket scientist, Homer Hickman. Well, as a child, he wanted to play, and him playing with rockets. The school said, "No, you're going to go to college. You're going to do what we tell you to do." It was a coal miner's dad. Dad said, "No, you're going to work in the coal mines. Quit playing." Well, he resisted, and he became America's, foremost scientist. And that's what we see here at Play. This is why Fairytale Town supports this program so much, because they're coming here and they can see the success on these kids. It's rather unfortunate that in the United States we have science-based. Everything has to be science-based before it's accepted. You're able to get grants and stuff like that. I remember talking to the person who created Angie Play in China, and her response, I said, "Hey, how are you proving this works?" She goes, "Just look at the children. That's all you have to do." So in other countries, they're not demanding science-based to get money. You're able to walk in, you're able to see the success. And unfortunately, in America, that's not the way we work. Love to have that change, but
Well, but it's really interesting that with even I mean, certainly during STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, when they're constructing the houses that they're doing, the structures that they're building, that in itself is STEM because they have to be able to think about the structure and they have to be able to think about how it's going to be sturdy, and that's the engineering piece, and they have to certainly use some math in there. And so I mean, I can't imagine why that fort building would not be. I mean, that's what they want kids to do. They want them to be able to problem solve and critically think and put something together using those science, technology, engineering, and math skills. So, and the technology is the tools that they're using,
right.
not a screen or a TV. So, wow, I can't imagine why that's not
Yeah.
bringing in money.
We had an older kid come here, and he built a fort by himself. He worked hard at it, and but he used nails that were a little too small. And I'm biting my tongue, and he must have used 1,000 of them. Well, a windstorm came up, totally blew it down.
Right? Yep.
He said he rebuilt it with the right nails, and now we saw the learning experience occur right in front of our eyes
Exactly.
without an
Exactly.
adult telling them what to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because when we tell them what to do, we rob them of that opportunity. I always am talking to my students about your job is to provide opportunities not to rob children of opportunities. Don't give them the answer. Ask them, what do you think you need to do? Or where do you think you could find that information? They need to learn to do it, think for themselves. But so many times we just want to, how do you spell cat? CAT, and then you move on to the next child. No,
Yeah.
it's not teaching them to solve their own problems.
Yeah. School is very important and it's a must, of course. But, we seem to have in America the concept of sit still while I share my knowledge with you.
Mhm.
And we as an
Mhm.
adult don't want that.
Ooh,
Why would a kid want that?
no, they
Yes, there
need
is
to
a time and
discover it.
place for it.
They need to discover it for themselves. Oh,
Yeah.
Steve, this has been fabulous. Thank you for sharing those photos. I think pictures are such a wonderful way to demonstrate what is happening at Adventure Playground. And there are, on YouTube, there are tons of the ones in the UK. And you think Steve's might be risky, you should just look at the ones in the UK and the ones that I saw when I was in Scotland at the World Conference. These are places, these are almost like refuge for children. They're not told what to do, where to go, how long to stay there, and what to do when they get there and when to move on to something else. It is freedom in a
Definitely.
way that many children don't often experience. And so thank you for that
Sure.
work.
Mhm.
We appreciate you. Stay right there while I close this out. To learn more
Okay.
about IPA USA, please visit our website at ipausa.org. Up in that top right-hand corner, you can subscribe to Spotify. It's free to you, and that's where all the Porch Play Chats are being uploaded. You can follow us on Facebook, where a Porch Play Chat appears every Monday morning. You can friend us, I think, or subscribe to us on YouTube, and that's where all 300 Porch Play Chats are, that you can go back and revisit all the time. And we also have an Instagram page, but I can never remember what you do on that one. So they're all up in that top right-hand corner of our website. And so thank you again, Steve. And until next time, everyone out there, keep on playing.